What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, although we're in the middle of a Marvel live-action series on Disney Plus with Agatha all along, and we've got 3 Marvel movies releasing next year, most of the news and rumors over the last couple of months have been surrounding Avengers 5 Doomsday and Spider-Man 4, which, incidentally, we now know will be filming back-to-back and in the early part of 2025, which really isn't that far away. Well, today we got a major update from none other than Spider-Man himself, Tom Holland, where the headline over at Variety read, quote, Tom Holland read Spider-Man 4 script with Zendaya and says it's excellent but needs work. Fitting sequel into MCU timeline is a quote-unquote challenge we're facing. We're going to break down exactly what they said in the article and what Tom Holland said about the script. We're then also going to annotate it where we can because he's referring to a couple of specific things about how this fits into the Multiverse saga and, of course, in between the 2 Avengers films. We're breaking it all down, the latest and official update to the Spider-Man 4 script. Quickly, if you could hit the subscribe button. My analytics tell me there are a lot of you who've been watching the channel for a while and maybe haven't hit the subscribe button yet, which is totally cool. Like I said, I've learned this about my own behavior and gone ahead and subscribed to the channels that I watch frequently. I would just kindly invite you to do so and remind you that in these crazy days of the 2024 algorithm, if you really enjoy content creator, the best way to support them is by hitting the subscribe button. They would sincerely appreciate it, and I do as well. Now, this article in Variety continues by saying, quote, Tom Holland revealed during an interview on the Rich Roll podcast that he recently read a draft of the script for his 4th Spider-Man movie, and it, quote, needs work, but the writers are doing a great job. Variety confirmed in September that Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings filmmaker Destin Daniel Cretton is in early talks to direct the sequel, taking over Holland's franchise from his trilogy director Jon Watts. Quote, one of the things that, with Marvel, your film is a small cog in a large machine, Holland said about Spider-Man 4 development. That machine has got to keep running. You have to make sure you can fit into that timeline at the right time to benefit the bigger picture. That's one of the challenges we're facing. The time in which we need to get that done is a tall order, but definitely achievable with the people that we have working on it now. Now, I know a lot of you will instantly know what he's talking about given the coverage at the channel over the last 2 months that I referenced during the prologue, but in case you need me to fill in the blanks that Tom Holland so PC stepped around, and I gotta give him credit because he's really come a long way in speaking to the press about projects, what he's saying is they have not finished the script for Spider-Man 4 yet, and the trick is that they're trying to work it into a multiverse saga that will be between 2 Avengers films that obviously have their own working pieces and setting up villains like Dr. Doom. He is saying point blank, they have not figured it out quite yet, but they're working on it and they don't have a lot of time. In our video just a month ago when Destin Daniel Cretton was announced as director, the main thing I pointed out was that if the script wasn't already done, and I was saying I hope that it is, that they have very little time to do the normal Marvel thing where they just rewrite the film into infinity. They've got to start rolling film in on this thing at the beginning of next year, and immediately when Tom Holland's done shooting his scenes for Avengers 5, we've already reported on that via Daniel RPK. So what it sounds like is going on is that he has faith in the writing team, but they have not quite figured out all of the fine details with fitting Spider-Man 4 into the current state of the Multiverse saga. And just talking out loud, they do not have a lot of time. Now, Holland continued by adding, we have a creative and we have a pitch and a draft, which is excellent. It needs work, but the writers are doing a really great job. I read it 3 weeks ago, and it really lit a fire in me. Zendaya and I sat down and read it together, and we were at times bouncing around the living room like this is a real movie worthy of the fans' respect. Now that is a bit of a refresher because it means at least the hard part's done. They know what they're working towards. They probably got the villain locked in place, which we're going to talk about in just a second, and they're working towards it. They just got to get the fine details worked out. But often in storytelling, that's the actual meat and bones of the script, which sounds like, well, is going to go through many revisions between now and when they roll tape in about 4 or 5 months. Now, the article from there just goes on to talk about previous quotes from Tom Holland and Kevin Feige confirming that they were working on the film, but that was really never in any question. It wasn't like September of years ago when we were all worried that Tom Holland might actually leave the MCU. What's going on now is probably a lot more tricky, though, to be honest, than the negotiations for that contract, given that there are going to be very poignant ending points to Avengers Doomsday and the beginning of Avengers Secret Wars, and what he was referring to is the chess match of trying to move arcs and characters through those movies that actually make sense. Now, the way that Marvel Studios addressed this with Infinity War and Avengers Endgame was shooting them concurrently, which they're apparently not doing with Doomsday and Secret Wars. But I would dare say that part of the problem is that Spider-Man has now been mentioned to be a huge part of Avengers 5, and wherever he's left off as a character will pretty much have to pick up and make sense in Spider-Man 4. So they can't just pick up where they left off at the end of Spider-Man No Way Home, because major things will have happened at that point, unless their plan would be to make it a prequel. And I've rightly guessed, and I'm going to continue to say this, that they are not going to take the agency out of Spider-Man 4 by making it a prequel the way they had to do with Captain Marvel. They want that in the mix, live and in the story, and that's why we've heard the recent rumors of Null and a multiverse story with Venom, Tom Hardy coming over at the end of Venom 3. It basically fills in as this huge epic, but can take place while the multiverse is at stake in a different part of the multiverse with a different villainous form. Now, I still think there's a really good chance, though, that Doctor Doom will be a part of the film in some way and a villain, because again, for the same reason they don't want to make it a prequel, they want to take up as much real estate as possible on the silver screen for Doctor Doom. And let's face it, Robert Downey Jr. being in Spider-Man movies is something that Sony and Marvel and everybody's comfortable doing. He's the main conduit for bringing Spider-Man into the MCU and during Civil War. Now, obviously, there have been rumors that if Robert Downey Jr. is still looking like himself without heavy scarring or a mask as Doctor Doom, that he may use that to his advantage and or to try to trick Peter Parker, Spider-Man, to aligning with them, and as that is part of the plot. But I'm not so sure that Doom is knowingly going to take the form of Robert Downey Jr. in an attempt to sort of sabotage the Avengers. I just think it a lot more likely the case they're going to play it straight. It's just him playing a different character altogether, but there still may be some implications there, and I don't think that they're going to waste that one film. Now, the other movie that comes out apparently right around this time may be Doctor Strange 3, which I think he would also feature as, and that's why I really feel like Marvel Studios is going to give us a ton of Doctor Doom, and before we make it to Avengers Secret Wars, something they maybe should have done and didn't get quite a chance to do with Thanos. But you guys let me know all your thoughts down below, what you want to see from Spider-Man 4, and if this official update is good or bad to you. I am all ears as always. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. Alright, we're still giving away PlayStation 5s here at the channel, and the next one happens to be at the end of the month to coincide with Agatha All Along's finale. If you want to be entered to win, or for any of the other future giveaways here at the channel, all the same rules will always apply. You've got to be a subscriber, so hit the sub button, then leave a comment down below, and because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos in the same way we're doing here, live with my voice, in the winning comment when there is one shown on screen. So please be safe and vigilant on YouTube or really any other platform. Please remember, anybody can take a content creator's profile picture, claim to be them. It's all a ruse to get your information on a third-party app like Telegram or WhatsApp and charge you for shipping for a price that's not there. No content creator, myself included, will ever charge you for shipping, so please be safe again and vigilant on any platform. And if you should get a spam comment like that, just report it directly to YouTube. They are very fast about deleting that account, and then everywhere they've commented goes away as well. You're actually doing a huge service to the YouTube community, not just the one page or comment that they happen to try to snag you on. My name is Michael Roman. You can find me in a couple of places, Instagram and Twitter at I'mFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes under the name All Fires. And while I sincerely appreciate you checking my music out, thanks for checking this channel out. Stick around, guys. We'll be posting again real soon.